Okay, hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's class on why teens act the way they do. My name is Claudette Honora, a teen coach. I'm passionate about teens and helping parents on how to navigate this path because I feel like the teenagers, we are all a community, and together we can raise better kids, better children in the society. It's not just the job is not doesn't just fall on one person. It's something that we can do together so we can all live in peace. So our topic for today is on why teens act the way they do. For those of us that are here, if you don't mind, please can you put on your camera? Let's see. Okay. So why teens act the way they do? So for the introduction, we need to find out who is a teen. When you hear teen, what comes to your mind? When you say somebody is a teen, what comes to your mind when you hear teen? What comes to your mind when you hear teen? Can somebody answer? When you say someone is a teen, who is a teen? Who would you describe as a teen? Can you hear me? Please, can you unmute? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so who is a teen? When you say someone is a teenager, what age category do you think a teenager is?
13 to 18.
Sorry, 13 to
18.
Okay, you're right. Another person, what age bracket?
No. Please stand by.
Sorry, I didn't hear you well.
I said I agree with the person that just spoke.
Okay, you agree with the person that said 13 to 18.
Yeah.
Okay, one more person. One more person. What age brackets?
I'll say 13 to 19.
Correct. The answer is actually 13 to 19. When you hear the teen, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, those are the teen age. But when you now say adolescent, we all know what the word adolescent means. So when you hear the word adolescent, what age bracket comes to your mind? When you hear adolescents, what age bracket also comes to your mind?
Maybe 21 or 20 or
Okay, you're almost there. For adolescent is broader. From that 13 to mid-adulthood, like 25 is an adolescent. But for the teen, it is from that 13 to 19. The teen is specific, while the adolescent is broader, is in a brother, is wider. Okay, so for our introduction today, we're going to be talking about why teens act the way they do. Why do they act the way they do? Have you ever found yourself wondering what happened to my sweet child? You know, when these children are growing up, they're so sweet. You tell them to stay here, they remain there, anything you ask them to do. And then all of a sudden, there's a change. So, what do you think is responsible for that change? Sorry?
I feel they want to explore.
they want to exploit. Why do you think they want to exploit? Something is responsible for that. Something is responsible for that.
Hormonal changes.
Hormonal changes is one. Hormonal changes. What else?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure is there.
Peer pressure.
Hmm? What else? Now, hormonal changes. And then again, sometimes we believe that, oh, this child is behaving this way. This child is being difficult due to hormonal changes. But the truth is, it's not actually the hormones. The hormones are there quite all right, but there's a brain part that is responsible for this behavior. There's a brain part
Can
that
we
is
say
responsible.
environment to contribute?
Definitely, environment contributes, but the brain also plays a major role. Environment forms who they are, their character, their personality, their training, but then again, the brain is also part of it. Now, when you're talking about the hormonal changes, this is where the physical changes come to play. During puberty, teenagers go through rapid growth. This includes height spots, weight changes, and changing body shape. And then they are also now conscious of their new body that is changing. So, and because and these new changes is affecting them, their bodies, their body shape, and the rest of it. It also affects their mood. Their sleep patterns also changes. So there are times that we now catch them, we feel like, oh, this child is being lazy. The child is not really being lazy. The child is reacting to the various things that is going through in the body. So we need to also understand them. We shouldn't get irritated when they are feeling that way or when we see them exhibit those traces. So if you've noticed your teen feeling that way, you can encourage that, and because you have that understanding, you can encourage them to sleep more and then try to make them get enough rest. Now, the cognitive development, this is where the brain factor comes in. And this is where, as parents, we need to understand why they behave the way they do. The things are learning to think abstractly, they reason through things, they question things that normally they never used to question. It's actually not their fault. There's a brain science behind this behavior. They've already formed their opinions and personal values. But here's the twist. The part of the brain responsible for logic, which is the prefrontal cortex, is still developing, while the emotional center, which is the amygdala, is already formed. And that deals with emotions. And that's why our teens are very, very emotional. So it's not their fault that they are that way. And I guess that's why we get confused and we start thinking, oh, this thing is behaving this way because of hormones. It's not really the hormones. It is the brain. The part of the brain that is responsible for emotions is more active than the part of the brain that is responsible for decision making. And that's the reason why they take very risky decisions. They make risky decisions to just find out that, this my sweet thing that has never stressed me is just taking some crazy decisions, some decisions that will shock everybody. It gets very emotional, it starts throwing tantrums, and you're wondering why. Is that part of the brain that is responsible for that behavior? Now, the emotional and social shift, that's number 3 points now. There'll be a recorded version of this. So at the end of the day, you'll still get it. Teenagers deeply care about their friends And that's when somebody said peer pressure. Peer pressure is real, is very real. So that's why as parents and guardians, we need to know the kind of people that our children are hanging out with. We need to know them. We need to know their personalities. These are the people that our children are drawn to. We really need to know them and why they are drawn to such people, because peer pressure is very, very strong. Building independence, they are free, but at the same time, there should be control. Figuring out who they are. They're also trying to figure out their personality. They are confused. They're not even sure of who they are. And because of this, they may pull away from you, the parent or the guardian, emotionally. They don't want to share with you because they feel like you judge them. They challenge your authority because they're also trying to exact their own personality, trying to identify who they are. They prioritize friends over family, because what does family do a lot of times? It's as if we're always criticizing them. We keep criticizing them. But you see, the friends are the ones that will be hailing them. Oh, you thumbs up. Friends will not tell them their wrong side. Family will always quick to correct and criticize, and they will not like that. They'll pull away. They'll just pull away. So let's reflect. Have you ever felt personally hurt by your teens' attitude or silence? Some of them give us silence treatment as well. You have the ones that will not even make any drama. They'll just be silent. They'll be watching you. But what they want to do, they'll go ahead and do it. So it's not always about us, you, the parents. So they are not pushing you away. They are trying to find themselves. So what do? Because they're trying to find themselves, we need to stay close. We need to not let them move far away from us. We need to try and build connection with them, because that connection is very key. Now, for section 2, we'll be looking at common parenting struggles and what to do about them. Common parenting struggles and what to do. Number 1 is communication. We cannot de-emphasize the importance of communication. Communication is very, very important. We need to communicate with our teens. We need to always have discussions with them, no matter how tired, no matter how busy our day has been. We need to communicate with them. Disrespect and back talk. When it gets to this point, when they begin to disrespect and then they talk back, what do? We need to just be there. They are doing it not because they want to be rude, not because they want to disrespect us. Sometimes they are overwhelmed. They don't understand themselves. They are overwhelmed. A lot is going on in their head. They are overwhelmed. So the only way they can come out, they just come across as being rude. If we take our time to understand them, we'll know that something is going on and we can get the necessary help they need instead of snapping back. And then we need to learn to listen. We also need to, no matter what they are saying, let's try and listen to them. And then both of us, that is the teenager and the parent, cannot be yelling at the same time. Because a lot of times we tend to exert our authority over the children because we believe that, oh, I'm your parent, I know more than you. No. If you're yelling, the child is yelling, nobody gets heard. So we need to learn to listen to them. This one is a major one. Technology battles. We all know the power and the importance of technology. But then again, we should try and balance it. Let's know what our children are doing. Let's know the kind of apps they are on. Let's know who they are chatting with. We all know what can happen if we don't pay attention to that. Their safety is number one. Safety is very, very important. We need to know the kind of things that they are doing, and we should make sure that they are using technology right. They are not using technology negatively. They need to use it in a positive way that will bring great impacts. The peer pressure, again, they care more about what their friends think than what you think. They talk about, these are things that we need to talk about early. Now, your teen has a friend. You need to know why the teen is attracted to that friend. It's not when the friendship has already gone deep, that's when we will not step in. No, 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 no. What's your attraction? Find out the kind of things that your teenager is attracted to, the kind of personalities. So that way it will not be an issue. And then you can give necessary advice. Talk about morals, talk about character. If you're forming friendship with somebody, what are the things? It shouldn't just be outward appearance. What are this person's character? Is this person kind? Is this person hardworking? Is this person compassionate? Those are the things we'll be asking them. So that way they know when to draw the line with the kind of people that they are being attracted to. Okay. Now, section C, from correction to connection. As a people, we are very, very good at correction. Instead, we need to be curious. We want to know, why are you doing this thing? I want to understand why you're doing this, instead of criticizing that thing. I'll give a simple example where a lot of times we're all Christians, and sometimes some of us believe that, oh, as Christians, girls shouldn't wear trousers. But our teenagers don't understand that, especially in church. They don't understand that. So sometimes we not criticize their dressing instead of finding out why. We criticize a lot of the things that they do instead of finding out. So what we should try and find out, we should be curious. Why are you doing this thing? Why? Instead of criticizing it. And then we also need to learn to validate. We need to learn to validate. Instead of, there's a situation, the person is frustrated, find out, why did this thing happen? Find out the reason why it happened. Then you can give advice, and then you can also let the teen know the consequences of what has happened. You let the teen know that. And then there are consequences for every action. They need to know that right now. It's not when something has already happened. As you're having your conversation with them, let them know, for everything that goes wrong, there's a consequence for that action. Then we also need to give choices. It shouldn't just be about rules. There should be choices, and then there should be choices within limits. If a teenager wants to go out with her friends, most times because we are scared, the first thing we say is no. Okay, you want to go out with your friend. Why do you want to go out? What time are you coming back? What will you people be doing there? Ask all those questions, and then let the child know that while the child is out, there should be trust. So between so and so time, I can go out with my friend, but I need to leave at a specific time and go home. And then I should also communicate with my parents as I leave. Okay, I have left. I am with so and so person. I'm coming back home at this time. And then within that limit, the teenager is actually back home. So we'll give choices. We should be flexible as well. Notice the good. We need to learn to notice the good. A lot of times, all we see is fault, fault, fault. It's not, we don't praise them. We don't encourage them. You just notice, oh, this child is stubborn. This child is not doing this. This thing is lazy. No, no, no. If they take out the dustbin, let's notice and commend them. If they have behaved well, let's notice and commend them. If they do things spontaneously on their own, you're not the one that sent them, let's notice. Let's not just assume that it is their duty, it is their role. No. So what do? We need to give compliments. 3, this week, you give compliment. When they do things, please compliment them. Okay, we also need to create little rituals. What does this do for us? It helps us to bond with the teenagers. Little rituals, maybe in the evenings or weekends, you go for your exercise together, you walk together. As you're walking, you're talking. The beauty of having this me time with them is that things will come up. You can easily talk. You can easily gist. It won't seem like work. It won't seem like work. You're just talking, you're gisting, you're seeing things as you're going on the road. They notice things, you talk about it, even things that bother them. Because that connection, that bond is already there, the child will easily open up to you. So you go for walk together, you cook together, you have tea time together, you can decide to make salad together, you can decide to do anything, baking, just anything. Okay, please get me that thing in the kitchen, get me that. And as you're doing those things, you're talking and then bonding is taking place. Well, to wrap up, what they really need from you, what these things need for us is simple. If they act distance, your teen needs structure. That means there should be clear rules and boundaries. We can't be loving our teenagers to the point of destruction. There should be boundaries. There should be rules. There should be regulations, and all this must be followed. There's support. We need to encourage them. There should be encouragement without judgments. A lot of times we judge them. There should be great encouragement without judgment. Then there should be stability, calm, persistent, and then we should be present. That's what they need. They want to see you. They want to feel you. They want you around them. And then safety. No matter what that teenager has done, there should be a safe space. Safe space. The home should be a safe haven for that child. That child should be able to come back no matter the mess. We need to create that environment whereby no matter what they see outside, they should be able to come home and will need to welcome back. They don't need perfect parents. What they need is us being present in their lives. So there's a reflexive exercise we need to do. So everybody take 5 minutes and write down one thing you've misunderstood about your teen. One thing you've misunderstood about your teen. Then one way you can approach that thing differently this week. Where you can approach it differently. And then one new connection habit you'll try. E.g. praise, listening, and then quality time. Take 5 minutes to write that down. And you can post it on the WhatsApp group. Paste it there. Final thoughts. Raising teens is not about controlling them. It's about coaching them through one of the hardest transitions in life. So stay patient, stay available, keep showing up, They might not say it out loud, but one day they'll thank you. They'll thank you for this job. Thank you very much. So if you have any question, we can now discuss. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, can I go with my question, please?
Yes, go on.
Okay. In my own area, I would say I'm having issue with my son communication, the way he to express himself. And in the process, I'm seeing myself in him, but I see it as a very big challenge. Growing up, I rather cry when I can express myself and I'll feel better. And I'm seeing the same thing with my son, that when he says something, you don't get it. And you're asking him to say it again. And he goes, don't worry, you won't understand me. And I'm seeing it as a challenge. And I try to like, okay, say it in whatever way you want. I'll take my time. I'll try and understand what you're saying before he can be able to before he can able to speak up and say it. And he goes, do you really understand what I'm saying? So he's having issues on expressing communication to pass out message, but he knows what he's saying, but to express it out is an issue. So I don't really know how to deal with that for now.
Okay, thank you very much. I think, like you
Welcome.
said, growing up, you had the same thing, and now you're experiencing same issue with your son. So the best part of it is, what you're going to do is you need to be patient. You need to be listening. So I guess, when he's trying to express himself, maybe from your body language, he guesses that you're not getting what he's saying. That's why he comes back again to ask you that question. Do you really understand what I've just said? So that's where patience comes in. And then, great, you've identified it early. So he doesn't have that same thing. He doesn't have that same struggle. So you have to be patient. You need to let him learn how to communicate in clear terms. Be very patient. Anyhow he's saying it, allow him to finish.
Yeah. So
Allow
like
him, yes, allow him
example,
to finish.
something
Yeah.
happened recently in their school about an accident. The day he got home, he goes, can you check your mail, mom, if they sent anything? And I was like, what, why? And he goes, in the bus, my teacher was crying and the daughter was in the other bus. And I'm like, nothing happened. Immediately I shunned him off. Like, he repeated such statement like 5 times, but I wasn't calm enough to understand what he was saying, because he wasn't saying the word accident, but he was trying to
Mm,
tell me something happened,
yeah.
that the teacher was crying, that something must have happened, but I wasn't patient enough at all. So it was later when I heard what happened, I felt so bad that why did I not calm down to listen to what he had to say? And no, like, so I think I need to be patient, like,
Yeah.
and slow down to
You need to really
understand
slow
him
down.
better.
Yeah, yeah. Because he may not have gotten grasp of what happened. So for him,
Yeah,
he needs that assurance, because he too wasn't sure of what happened.
yeah,
So if
yeah,
we were
yeah.
patient and calm, I guess he would have opened up more. And that's why I said, don't worry, never mind. He will just close up. So that's where patience comes in for you. So learn to work on that, and you find that you make a great headway. Thank you very much. Any other question? Any other question? So that means we're all good. Okay. So now, after today's class, our next class will be offline. We'll be talking about healing the inner child. So for healing of the inner child, we'll need to, I'll send the information on the platform for those that would be interested, because healing the inner child will also help us to identify children's personality and how to work on them. Some of us, we have traumas from our past that we are carrying. And because of the traumas that we have from our past, we are passing that same trauma to our children. So we need to heal ourselves to be able to help our teenagers as well, so they don't fall into the same trap. So we'll do that. That will be done offline. So messages will be sent. For those that are interested, then you reach out to me. We'll do that separately. So this class is not a weekly Zoom thing. Some things will be assignments, and then the 4th week is when we'll come back online again to wrap up the class. Are we good? So thank you. See you in our WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate this time. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Do have a great week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.